You're Perp back with another video. Just got done watching Snowfall Season 4, Episode 7. Man, each episode just keeps getting better and better with this series. Now, I'm going to kind of go out of order. I'm going to start with, Teddy and Javi, because I haven't really talked that much about them thus far in this season. I know there's a lot of drama brewing between these two. So, starting with, Teddy and Javi, Teddy's just, on his own right now. He's just a lone wolf. He's out here just being a savage, ever since his brother died. And, he just hasn't been the same. So, he's trying to figure out where's my missing money. I think it was like 15 million or something like that. And he starts just going around torturing people. And Javi is definitely up to something. He's always been kind of a shady person. And maybe he's trying to do what Franklin's trying to do, is trying to get away from Teddy. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, going back to the crew, everybody's kind of on edge a little bit, just with the whole situation. Jerome definitely feels some type of way towards Franklin, him working with the CIA and stuff. I'm wondering how that's gonna come into play and whatnot. But Franklin's like, yo, we just gotta get back to business as usual. Meanwhile, you got Alton really, contemplating on, doing this report or working with this reporter to kind of expose Franklin's operation. But he doesn't want to do it to hurt Franklin. He wants it to do it to, protect Franklin. This was like probably the last time you've seen this whole family kind of happy, because I think it's going to go downhill from here. So back at the shelter, Wanda's kind of helping out. And I think Wanda's going to be a big player going into ending off season 4, going into season 5. And Alton is really kind of fed up with this lifestyle. He's starting to see the effects it's having on his people and people he cares about in the community. Meanwhile, you have Franklin and Peaches just driving, and they're being followed by somebody. And Franklin kind of puts two and two together, like they're trying to figure out what who my plug is, and you can only imagine who's behind that. So while Franklin sticks to business with Gustavo, he doesn't know where Teddy is. He doesn't know that he's kind of out of town. He kind of needs his advice at this point. Going back to Leon, he's got some more issues, with fatbacks people and having to take care of them. But his cousin is not really feeling Leon at all. He was almost at the point where he was going to just beat the fuck out of Leon, but Leon just walked away from the situation. But going back to Alton, he pretty much makes a decision. Also, I also think that this is going to end up making him break his sobriety. They kind of celebrate that during this episode. He tells Sissy about what he wants to do, but Sissy's like, only if Franklin wants to do this. He wants to just get the fuck up out of Los Angeles and get away from all this. But he also now regrets a little bit on working with Irene. And I think going into it, I think Irene's going to be the one that kind of makes him break his sobriety and stuff like that. I'll go into what I think what's going to happen with that later on in this review. So as Manboy continues to hunt for Leon, there's these two chicks that literally kill somebody random. That's not even Leon, and that just pisses off Manboy. And this goes to show you that Manboy is extremely smart. He's trying to play it smart while Kadisha's out here just wilding and kind of blowing up the spot. I'm wondering how that's going to go, considering what happens next episode. I think we're in for somebody getting shot up. I'll get into all that at the end of this review as well. Now, Leon goes to see Jerome about handling this situation with fatbacks people, because, he can kind of relate with that generation, and he kind of just breaks it down to him. And he kind of gets Leon kind of gets Jerome involved with this, and I think there's foreshadowing a lot in this just whole entire episode. Also, Wanda wants to be put on. She just wants to help out and whatnot so she can make money. So they make a deal with Fatback's people, saying like, if you do this, I'll do this for you. But if anything happens to my people, I'm gonna come looking for you. And you know, it's kind of a shame. So later on this episode, you see somebody trying to pull a gun out on Leon, and Leon doesn't even really budge. And she says like, you have $5,000 in your head. I need that. And one of Fatback's people, cousin's people, comes clutch and puts a gun to her head, says, yo, drop it, pretty much. And Jerome wants to know what this bounty is all about. But before I get into that, we get more of Irene, and her ex-husband is just really worried about her doing this story and, exposing these secrets. And I think it's really going to be dangerous for her and whatnot. I think everybody is assuming that, if you get caught snooping around in your business that's not yours, they're definitely going to have to get rid of this reporter somehow. And, it's not looking good for Irene. But, you could just tell that she's really passionate. And she's so passionate about her job to the point where it kind of, broke her and her family apart. And it's sad. It's really sad. But going back to Franklin and the gang, they find out about this bounty, and they all pretty much got a bounty on their head. And that's just more pressure. Not to mention that Sissy comes in and tells Franklin, I need to talk. And this talk was definitely the highlight of this episode, where, Franklin hears Alton out about the reporter, and Franklin is pissed, man. He feels betrayed. He's like, what is going on? But, Alton is really telling him the truth. Like, man, I don't know if we're going to survive you poisoning our communities. And he's just fed up. And Sissy's kind of just caught up in the middle of things. She doesn't really know what side to really choose, because she doesn't want to abandon her son, but also she doesn't want to lose the person that she loves. These are two people that she loves. And it's pretty much going back to season 1, where Franklin just hates his father. He doesn't even want nothing to do with him. So the episode ends with Gustavo trying to still look for Lucia. I feel like we're gonna see her by the end of the season. And you got Irene writing the paper, or writing the story, and Franklin's kind of just really, it's all really catching up with him. He's really hurting right now. Things aren't looking good for Franklin and the group, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I think Irene will be all right. I think with Alton getting kicked out of the crib, he might just go there, and they might start building a relationship. How is Franklin going to dodge this bounty? I think there's definitely going to be some bloodshed by next few episodes. What's he going to do with his father? Do y'all think Franklin really has it in him to kill his father? He killed Andre, and that was pretty much a father figure to him. But this is his blood. I don't know if it'll be Franklin to pull the trigger, but I think it's looking spooky for Franklin's pops. It's looking spooky for everybody, and it's really dope that I really don't know exactly where this is going to go or predict what's going to happen next. You got Khadijah out there on the hunt, and you got Manboy also kind of just trying to still find Franklin's plug. You have Teddy out there trying to figure out what's really going on. And I feel like we're going to get possibly multiple deaths by the end of this season. I don't know, man. Let me know how you guys feel about this whole entire episode and where they could possibly go with this next. But until next week, I'll see y'all later. Peace.